Hey guys, Coach Becky here, and welcome to my 10-minute injury prevention video. We're not going to need any equipment today, just a mat if desired, and we're going to jump right into it like we always do. All right, so we're going to start with a split stance calf raise. All you're going to do is stand with your feet shoulder width apart and one foot in front of the other with the arms overhead. You're going to roll your body weight from your heels up to your toes as high as you can, about 10 reps per side. So the focus here is to think really tall. Like you want to get your body up as tall as you can. I guess this one's probably most geared towards runners, but you don't have to be a runner. If you just want to have better balance and less injuries, this session is for you. All right, switch sides. I did this personally after a run, and it really helped my body feel a lot better. You could also do this before a run, before a hike, or perhaps if you're traveling and you don't have any equipment. Maybe you're just getting into exercise. This workout really works for everybody, but if you're a runner, I think you'll especially benefit from the movements today. All right, looking good on the split stance calf raise. Again, really reach up, think tall thoughts. Excellent job. Okay, next we're gonna do a balance march. So you're gonna draw one knee up as high as you can. You're gonna reach one direction and then the other direction, and then we'll switch legs. So we'll do 10 of these total, 5 per leg, and you can start with either side. Change it up if you can, so you can reach towards the leg or away from the leg first, doesn't matter. You're gonna get both in. I like to kind of just challenge my body in different ways. So again, don't stress about which side you rotate first, just focus on switching legs. This one's great for stability. Obviously, it's kind of a run, balance, stepping, hiking specific movement, but I have my 80-year-old grandma do these to practice balance as well. So you could have a runner do it, you could have a soccer player do it, a mom, a grandma, anyone. So what we're getting here is that lower body stability, the one knee up, and then we're getting that trunk rotation as well. So we're challenging a lot of different things at once. So great job on that one. It's tough. Balance reach, here's level 1. Back leg on the ground, barely any weight in it, hinge at the hips, soft knees, stand tall. Again, reach overhead, hinge at the hips, soft knees, stand tall. Level 2, same thing, but you're gonna lift that back leg and then just step together. Level 3, and we'll do 5 of these now. Single leg reach with a knee drive at the top. All the variations have an overhead reach. You'll see that that's kind of a common theme today. We've got the overhead stuff going and the lower body. Very rarely in life do we find that we're ever isolated in just using our legs and just using our arms. So anytime we can coordinate the two while focusing on things like stability and mobility is beneficial. Okay, other side, again, there's level 1, level 2, and at level 3, we'll start this as our first rep of 5 repetitions. Again, think long thoughts. You want to lengthen from the fingertips to the toes. This is a hip dominant movement. We're mainly hinging at the hips, but the knees are soft and the arms are reaching overhead to get in a little bit of the upper body mobility as well. So we're working stability, hip mobility, overhead mobility. Lots of fun stuff happening here. Think about keeping your stomach tight. Obviously, the core connects everything, so. All right, split squat. This one's actually pretty tough. So arms go overhead just like the last couple movements. Feet are shoulder width apart. We're gonna lunge down and stand tall. I'll do about 5 or 6 reps, and then I'll turn to the side so you can see how that looks there. But we're going up and down, challenging the quads and the glutes. And then I've got those arms overhead to really encourage you to think tall, think about your posture. We are doing 12 per side. If you wanna focus on inhaling down, exhaling up. Here's the side view so you can see how the spacing looks. But yeah, make it your own. Really great one for building strength and stability in the lower half. Let's switch legs here. You could always add in a dowel overhead or maybe a resistance band, maybe some really light weights or a med ball if you'd like. That variation has been in some of my workouts in the past. Keep the front heel on the ground if you can, the back heel lifted. Again, we're doing 12 per side. This one is, like I said, great for building strength in the quads and glutes while building stability. And again, we've got the arms overhead to think about our posture. Awesome job. We're gonna come on down to the ground next, and it looks like we're gonna head into a butterfly bridge, one of my favorite ways to open the hips while working the glutes and core. Feet together, knees out like you're doing a butterfly style stretch. And you should feel beautiful stretch in the hips. Great way to open up while still working the glutes and core. In just 10 minutes, we really have to multitask, and this is another one for me that feels like it hits a lot of different boxes, checks a lot of boxes, especially for me after a run. Everybody's hips are tight. If you ride bikes, you're in that group as well. So we're doing about 12 of these. You could always hit pause and do more repetitions, but if you're tight on time, like I think all of us are, we're gonna keep the reps between 10 and 12 today. While we're on the ground, we're gonna move into a 90-90 hip rotation. So bring the back knee 90 degrees from the hips, front leg 90 degrees, foot's 90 degrees about from the knee, and hands go behind you, and all we're gonna do is rotate through the hips, laying the knees from one side to the other. We'll do 12 of these total. If you've never done them before, you might want to hit pause and just kind of make sure your position is set up. If you start scooching your hips forward or backwards, that's super common. Just kind of reposition yourself so that it feels good. This one should feel good. It should find some of those tight spots. We're working on hip rotation, a key function of the ball and socket joint, the hips, but a lot of joints need to be able to rotate, the hips being a key one. So we're just kind of enforcing that today. Lots of variations on the 90-90s. This is the simplest one. Okay, shin rotations, pretty simple one. On your bum, grab behind your flexed knee, so the knee's fairly flexed. The foot is also flexed, pointing up. And we're just gonna turn the foot from left to right, like a windshield wiper. If you wanna place one hand on the tibia or the shin, you can feel the knee, the shin rotating in the joint, because that is actually a function of the knee. If you ever swam breaststroke, you would know this. Okay, let's try the other side. And all we're doing is kind of practicing that ability for the knee to rotate, or kind of maybe reminding our body that that joint can actually do that. And we'll take it a step further in the knee car coming up. So this is kind of a warm up for the next mobility move. Kind of an interesting one, but as many of you guys know, knee pain is just a super common problem for a lot of people. Okay, so what we're gonna do is a knee car. You're gonna start in the same position as the last movement we did. Foot flexed, rotate the foot out, straighten the leg, lowering the leg down as you need to so that you can fully extend. We rotate the foot in and fully flex the knee before we extend and flex again, okay? So really it's a pattern of kind of drawing this teardrop shape and then going back around. We start with the foot flexed, extend the leg, rotate the foot in and flex again, extend, etc., etc. So just draw a giant teardrop. Make the movement as big as you can. And you're holding on to your thigh simply to kind of prevent your hip from taking over. Sometimes people will start to do this kind of more in their hips than in their knees. And you want to focus on all that movement happening through the knees. So we'll do 5 total cars per side. Kind of just say it in your head and just talk yourself through the movements so that you don't lose focus. It takes a while. We want to explore that range of motion. We don't want to rush it. Once you finished out 5, let's head to the other side. Flex, extend, rotate, flex, extend, rotate. If you've got really tight hamstrings, it'll be hard for you to hold your knee up maybe as high as I'm holding it. So if you need to adjust that position or even hit pause so you can stretch out your hamstrings, I've had my athletes do that before as well. Kind of a weird movement. I wouldn't call it a hard movement, but it does require focus. I would say this is joint strength training, which is equally as important to muscular strength training, and it doesn't get enough credit. So again, find as much space in that knee joint as you can, taking your time, flexing, extending, and rotating. And CAR stands for controlled articular rotation. So there you go. All right, pop tall. We're gonna do a side lunge shift. So really spread the feet apart, really wide as you can go. And you're gonna sit all your weight to one side and straighten the opposite leg, and then sit all of your weight into the other leg and straighten the leg you just sat on. So we're gonna do 12 total, 6 to side, arms extended straight out. And you're just gonna squat to one side as you stretch the other. Great for the adductors, great for the glutes. Kind of breathing as you go through this. We're almost done for the day. You're doing awesome. Whether you're just starting your day or just ending it or somewhere in the middle, Hopefully this session just brought you some energy, helped you connect to your body, and was just a simple way to focus and reset on what you need, where your range of motion's at, where your stability and flexibility is at, where your current strength is. That's the intention today. Awesome job. One more movement at TikTok, I call this one, or a lateral leg raise. Stand tall, squeeze the core, avoid shifting your shoulders side to side or leaning. Make your hips do all the work as you release your leg with control to the right and then to the left. So working some lateral, hip mobility, some glute strength, simple movement. Love this one for all ages and ability levels. Couple more. Nice job. And we're just gonna do a forward bend to end. Stretch out the hamstring, stretch out the lower back. Maybe think back on some of the movements today, what you did well, what maybe needs work. And you can always come back to this session. You could do it again if you've got the time and the space. Just wanna say thank you guys so much for joining me. Well done, great job, and we'll see you again next time. Subscribe to stay up to date. We're gonna do a few more 10-minute total body workouts, so I hope to see you soon.